My name is International Master Minh and I got the rating of 1824. Yes. And you are not mistaken. You are not mistaken. The International Master with the rating of 1824. Yes. So now I'm trying to bully someone who is worse than me. I'm trying to bully some like 1700 or lower. Trying to give you some lessons or trying to give you like teaching some chess. Wait a second, can an 1800 teaching chess? I don't know. But okay, I want to simply like show you some chess lessons and like asking questions along the way. Sure. What I want to do is that I play a 10 minutes games and then I will try to show you like what do I think along the game, my thinking process, or simply it is like everything I can help you about chess. Yeah, I mean like this, you see this one, right? The Christmas decoration. But I mean like actually I just quite lazy to throw it away. I think this is like fine, right? I don't think it will like affect too much maybe. Okay guys, time for chess lesson. So let's go. First game, okay, I'm with the guy with the nearly same rating with me. AB123, okay, forget the name, so long. So what do you want me to do? I think let's go c5 or e5. What do you want me to do? Okay, I think let's go e5 first. I think let's go e5 maybe. And then now, the question right now is that, what do you want me to do? I can play elephant again and show you like the clear method to play this one. I mean, I also play the elephant in a repetition in my country. d5 is fine. I can play this one, or I can play the... Yeah, I can play... What is the name of f6? What is the name of f6, bro? Yeah, I'm simply... Yeah, Petrov. Oh my... Yeah, Petrov. So, yeah, now I'm a jerk. So what do you want to play? What, I think let's play knight c6, okay, knight c6, let's see this one. Actually, knight c6 is not, I mean, hopefully it doesn't play something. Okay, c3. Okay, this is like the Ponziani. This is the Ponziani. The idea here is trying to push d4 as fast as he can to go for the center. I'm gonna play knight f6. Attacking this pawn, also like, you know, trying to developing normal stuff. Hey Brandon, good to see you. Hey Brandon. Anyone can give Brandon some shout out? I mean d5 is like the normal line. d5, you know, like d5 take here and then d4. This is called the Ponziani. But I want to change first. Knight f6, d3. You defend the pawn. And now, guys, one thing you should understand is that when you play this guy and when you can push d5 in this e4 e5 variation, when you can push d5, you are completely fine. d5. Now I trying to, you know, seize the center right away. ED5. Well, Brandon, I mean, like, as I mentioned earlier, I think we have the same dad. I can say. Guys, first question here, start. Now, if you guys want to choose, what do you want to capture on d5? This queen or the knight? Give you the first question here. What do you want to capture on d5? Let's go. Obviously both are fine, but now just try and think for a move you want to play and you think it is like give you a good position. Here, as Antier already said, both captures are fine. But I think that, first of all, I mean, like Wendy, I don't know. I mean, the thing is that like knight g4 doesn't have anything to be related to like queen d5. But when, I mean, like normally, if he didn't play c3 like this, you can win d5 with a good position. But now, since white had already played c3, this pawn d3 is suddenly becoming weak. So now I will play queen d5 right away, with the idea to attacking this pawn right away. c4 looks quite funny move. I mean, like this one actually loses tempo, and also I'm not a fan of this move. Check here first. c4 looks quite bad. I don't know. I mean, like, you know, by doing this. So what happened right now? First of all, this pawn d3 will remain weak for a long time, since right now nothing can defend that, and d4 is not easy to be achieved. Second, he loses tempo, since he did play c3 earlier, so now c4 seems to be quite, I don't know, illogical maybe? But also he can chase my queen away, which is not that bad maybe, I don't know. I want to take with the bishops. Queen d2 and queen d6. The queen here is pretty good. Not only we can still stay on d file for the rook to come here next, but also now we can play this move. It's very strong here, very strong. When your opponent opt for this kind of pawn structures like this, we can even try and place one and kill the knight on f3. Yes, d3 is so weak. You can play a lot of stuff here, but I think I will play the best move in my opinion, castling queenside. Looks so fun to play. The idea for me is that my king get a safety, and also I can, you know, put more pressure on the d3 pawn right away. If you play castles, I got a very strong move here. If you play castles, I got a very strong move in this position. I think he might not fall for that, I guess. Just wanna see what he can do. Rook d1, okay, fine. You know my ideas, I think. If you play castling, I got a very strong move. I will review later, after the game. Rook d1, okay, he defend a pawn. I can play something like rook here maybe. Yes, I don't see something so clear. Let's try and bring out my process. Yes, if we play castles here, I play e4 earlier. I will show you that after the game. I will give the brief analysis after that. Castles, I think e4 is still dangerous, I can say. Well, okay, so finally the sub stops. Finally. But okay, I mean, like, you know, sometimes it is so nice to hear. Castles. e4 now I don't think is so strong, since right now he did protect up with the knight here and the rook in d1 as well. It is still something can give me some initiatives, but I guess I wouldn't want to go for that. I want to go king b8. Slowly get my king to safety and wait for my opponent to review his ideas. I can't even take here and then go to d4 to grab the strong center. Yes, like this move is really, you know, important to play, and also it can give you like this safety for the king. a3. There are plenty of things you can play in these positions. Just trying to figure it out. What should I do? Okay, let's go knight d4. Wait. No, it's playable. Knight d4. Normally I should take on f3 first, before I go knight d4 to grab the strong outpost on the center, right? But now I'll play this first, since now I can take e4. And now I got the double attack. This is forcing, and that allow me to win a pawn. Yes. Now time for some, I think, endgame crosses maybe? Knight 4 is forcing. Since now if you, okay here, if you play like, if you play something different, if you play this one, I play this move. And this intermediate move allow me to win the pieces, right? Knight b5. Okay guys, so now it's pretty simple. This bishop is hanging, but our queen is hanging as well. What to play? What is the move you can try and play here to, obtain a good position for black? Let's go. Yes, both of us are finding that right away, right? Rook e2. And by doing this, okay, here you see this one. By attacking the queen at the same time, so this intermediate move allows us to get the bishop and a knight against the rook. And in this kind of position, the rook actually is quite useless. Useless, I can say. The e-file is not easy to, achieve. I mean, not easy to invade through the e-file. So now if you play knight d6, I take on d2, and I will get the bishop and a knight for the rook. Yes, my mother giving me some fruit, but I just told her that I will quit as well after 10 minutes. So I will eat later. Yes, I mean now I think he needs to play the queen forcing. I don't see another move. I don't see another move. Just don't know why he's thinking here. Yes, d2. Forcing again. Don't know why he's thinking here. I mean, this is quite funny. He played some first move so fast, and now he's thinking here. I don't know why, but okay. Now we're coming to this position. So now question is that how can we try to, winning even more advantages in this position? I want to go like bishop f5 maybe, since I will keep an eye on this pawn d3, which is a clear target to attack, right? g4, okay, I don't care. Basically, he cannot chase my bishop, I cannot trap my bishops, so I'm fine with this move. Rook e1, which is a good move, I can say, which is a good move. But okay, the thing I can tell is that, I mean, he doesn't have something so strong in the e-file. Like, here it's not something so dangerous, I can say. Now I just want to expand on the queen side with a5. This move is very important, guys. Why? First of all, we can play this kind of group maneuver to b3, and then a5 is the move that prevent b4 first. Second, if we play b4, we takes and we open a5 for the rook. Third, the thing also is quite important that we open the fly square for the king and b8. You understand? a4. By completely restrict this bishop, this pawn. Now it's so hard for him to go for something different. h4, h5 is fine. I think h5 is fine. g5 and knight d7. And when you see knight c5 here, and with this pawn restriction, it is so hard for him to get out, right? Knight d7. Well, king c8 can be a good move, but I mean, like, when you see this kind of pawn structures, a5, a4 is always a good plan to follow up. So now you see knight c5, right? And when the knight is c5 attacking this pawn d3, I think white is in serious troubles, I can say. Serious trouble. My plan has been carried out successfully, and now white's losing. King e2. Well, guys, now this move actually is hard, but I want to give some time to think first. Black to play. If you're black here, what do you want to do? I give you 1 minute. I see the move here, so I'm quite confident. Knight b3, I don't think he's not doing anything so serious. He can re1 maybe. Now this move seems to be not so strong, but indeed, I mean, actually it is super strong. So bravo to the guy who can find this move. Rook e6 exclamation mark. It seems to be not so important to change the rooks, but after this, now knight 4 is inevitable. This is the thing. Knight 4 is inevitable, and we win upon d3 by force. Very important, very important. Now he cannot do anything to defend against knight 4. And after the rook has been traded, we don't need to worry about any kinds of counter attack from him. Pawn. Tell you earlier, he got nothing to defend against that. We win a very crucial pawn, and with that, I think the game. f4. Now, now we seem to win a pawn, but still, when we don't see anything, time to activate the king c8. Time to get the king out. This may be. Also, the king can get to d7 to prevent own kind of rook penetration here. King d7. Slowly, get the king in, and you will see we doesn't allow white to have any kind of counterplay, which is a very, very important method when you're trying to convert the material. You remember? Rook e2, bishop f5. Now bring the bishop here, back to the game. Not only defending f5 maybe, but also go for small threats. Simply you see that white is simply tied up. White is tied up completely. You see that, right? The knight is so strong here, and I just simply get king c5 here. I think with that I get the game. He can rook e2 as well. I think that he can rook e2 here, but he can get this move. Yes. You know, the key is winning. He's winning for sure. But by doing this, we prevent him from getting like, I don't allow him to get any, even like the smallest hint of counterplay. Doesn't allow your opponent any counterplay. It's very, very important way of converting material. Bishop is still defending here, and now I take everything. Taking everything. D2 is his plan here. D3. Very strong pawn here indeed. I think now I should resign. This pawn is doing, but I don't care for that. King f2 is only move. Okay, g6. You can see that the bishop is still defending. I mean, my pieces is simply, you know, collabing each other really well. Okay, now I got us different questions. Do you guys want to see a complete bully? Rook trapped. Rook trapped. Oh my gosh. Rook trapped in the center. This is completely bully. So now guys, do you want to see like a 7 knight or something like that? Now time for some bullying. Woo! No. Well, I am only a good person with you and Dania. I am not so good with my opponent, I can say. Okay guys, that's the game. A funny position, but let's go. And I will give you... Hey Robert, good to see you. Let's give you the game analysis here. One moment. You tutored him. Yes, we are. Okay, here, one moment. So let's come to the game again. And feel free to ask me any questions. I will try to give a brief analysis. And feel free to ask me anything you want. Hopefully you understand what I want to indicate. Sure? E4, E5. Knight 3, Knight 6, C3. This is called the Ponziani. I don't know if I do pronounce correctly. It's like Ponziani Opening, like this. Ponziani. So Ponziani, one moment. Pronunciation.
Ponziani. Ponziani.
Ponziani. Ponziani. Yeah, Ponziani. This is quite correct. I mean, this is quite easy to pronounce. Although I'm so bad as Sure, I can pronounce that quite, I think, easily. I like yours better. Woo! Knight f6. Obviously, I can play d5. This is also a good plan to do as well. But I think the main line here is something like queen a4 maybe, I forget, or something like this one, and then a d4 maybe. Step as well. I just want to play knight f6. Knight f6. And then the main line here in the Ponziani is d4, knight e4, and d5, and bishop c5. This is the main line of the Ponziani, and this is really fun to play, and that's why I play this line. Although we're down a minor pieces so early, but we got a very strong attack, and this king in center is not feeling safe. I have 2 norms, Robert. I have 2 norms already, and I got the enough rating. So it's like better here. I think it should be double H's. But okay, I mean like black cannot be worse. Although he's down a piece. But he got a strong attack here. Also now he can castle really fast, and you see the white pieces, right? Apart from the knight on f3, he didn't promote anything. So this is, I think some kind of gambit. I forget, like Vukovic maybe. Yeah, Vukovic maybe. I forget the names. But okay, this is pretty fun, and I plan to play this. But he played something differently. He played d3, d5, e5. So as I did mention in the game, if the pawn is on c2, you need to play knight d5. Since right now, I mean, after that, he doesn't have knight c3 with a tempo, and also like this is the normal positions. But now queen d5 with the idea to attacking the pawn on d3 is my ideas. You understand? Queen d5, c4, bishop b4, simply trying to develop with tempo. Bishop d2, takes, and queen d6. I think this is very good square for the queen. It cannot be chased easily by white pieces. Also, you see that this pawn is weak. I can go to d8 next, and also this queen on d6 doesn't, intercept the bishop's diagonal, right? So now knight c3, bishop g4, bishop e2, and castling. Very strong move, castling. And as Rusty and some other guy has pointed out, after castles we get e4. And this is very strong indeed. We got a pin on the d file, right? So now he cannot defend the pawn on d3. These positions. That's why, right? That's why. So now you need to put d1 here, and then group h8. I simply bring him pieces out, castles, king b8. This move is very important and also really useful to play in this kind of positions when you want to get your king into safety, and also make sure that you do not like getting something like becoming weak. Your king will not be like, under some checks after he played this one maybe. a3, knight d4. And as I mentioned in the game, I think you need to play this move. You need to play this move for sure. But I got this move. I plan to play this one. I plan to play this in the game, in d3, and queen e4 next. And then I got a very strong pawn on d4. Also, like I can play queen e4 next, and then I got a very active rook as well. I planned to play this one in the game, but he played this move, knight b5, knight b5, and then rook e2. Take here, and as I mentioned, I think in this part I do mention everything in the game. I slowly get my bishop back here to attacking the pawn on d3. And if this move is very important. King c8 is 5 for sure. I think the engine may even light as 1. But I mean, like when you see this kind of pawn structures, a5, a4 is always a plan. That you should remember. Not only in this variation, but this can be playable in a lot of, other variation as well. Remember? So a5, and you can see that, like, after a4 here, this pawn cannot be pushed, and it can have something like this one. This pawn cannot be pushed easily, and it will be becoming a bad pawn as well. The knight and c5 cannot be chased easily as well. Get this idea as well. I mean, like, everything and anything can be a shift after this a4 push. So you can see that we restrict his pawn here, and now the idea that we simply figure out in the game is like knight d7 and c5 next. It's so bad for him. King f2 knight c5 and king e2 rook e6. And as I mentioned in the game, this is deadly. Knight 4 is simply, cannot be defended, and slowly get king in the game and GG, right? So one thing in this game is that, first of all, it is about the opening stuff. When he plays some best stuff and allow me to get a good position out of the opening. When you slowly try and play the move here, trying to kill the knight to f3 to get the opposite d4, also you castling on the king side right away to get the rook into the d5 attack, also getting your king to safety, and then you slowly trying to go for endgame when you're better, slowly running and trying to maneuver your pieces into the best squares available. You understand? Any other questions? After a5, well, let's say I did mention that in the game as well. If you play b4 here, I takes and then go something rook a6. This is also the strength of a5, that we can get a file for our own rook, right? This is also the thing that, you can understand from normal games. There are a lot of openings that have this lie, this thing actually, and then you got this move. Okay, now I need to go actually. I think my students now is screaming, I'm pretty sure. But okay, guys, any questions left? Any questions left? Feel free to ask questions. Can help you with everything. It seems to be no questions I can say. Okay, so stop recording. Thank you for coming here.